So a lot of things have been lately going on with Ubisoft, some being the good news and some being bad. And recently we received some reports claiming that Ubisoft was working on a new open world RPG mammoth fantasy game based on the legendary King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. And some developers from Ubisoft have said that this was supposed to be a very ambitious game that they've worked on for a very long time. And also this project was working out really well and the game ended up as they expected. But thanks to the chief creative officer, Serge Hascoët, who has decided to reject the game, so he cancelled the entire project, all because he did not like a fantasy-based game. Now this cancelled game was known as Avalon, which was being developed by Mike Laidlaw, who was a former member of BioWare's The Dragon Age team. And the development team of this game seemed really mad now on how their chief creative officer Serge Hascoët has never allowed developers to put in their creativity into any of the games. And this guy apparently rejected and shut down multiple massive projects which were supposed to be released just because he did not like it. Now Serge Hascoët recently resigned from Ubisoft just a few weeks ago due to him being accused of sexual misconduct in Ubisoft, and some of the Ubisoft insiders have also come out and said that this guy was the responsible one for pushing such frat house cultures into Ubisoft. And also that he never really allowed developers to think or do anything creative because he would always reject everything that isn't his idea. Now Serge Hascoët is the creative officer who is responsible for titles like Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, and even Far Cry 5. But according to the developers at Ubisoft, Mr. Hascoët isn't a fan of fantasy games, and apparently he has rejected so many good ideas and games with great potentials all because he did not like it. And according to his own employees, he always limited the company's potential for a very long time now. They said that last year Ubisoft released two massive flops, The Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and people at Ubisoft now claim that this was mostly due to their chief creative officer wielding an unusual amount of control over the content the developers could create. So anything good or anything creative was mostly getting rejected, or the game ends up getting cancelled overall. Like for example, take the King Arthur's game, which also got cancelled because this guy did not like fantasy games. Now I think that it's a really dangerous thing to provide one person all the power to control content and decide on how creative a game should be made or not. Because when it comes to art and creative ideas, everybody has different creative mentality, and running a massive studio like Ubisoft with just one big brain controlling everything that's creative is nothing but a huge disaster. And that's exactly what's been going on with Ubisoft lately. Now even the developers of Assassin's Creed Origins have now claimed that Mr. Hascoët had prevented the developers of the last 3 Assassin's Creed games from writing large roles for their female protagonists because this guy apparently did not like having to play as female character or even have a story revolving around the female characters. So he would basically cancel everything that the developers offered and change up every creative aspect according to his own liking, and that has taken away all the creative freedom for the developers at Ubisoft. Now Assassin's Creed Origins was supposed to have a very big storyline for Aya and Bayek, both the characters, but this guy decides to cancel Aya's story because he did not want female character having the mainstream storyline in Assassin's Creed Origins. And they had to rewrite the story in order to support Bayek more than Aya, which was not the original idea or the art style of what the developers were trying to go for. So now that Mr. Serge Hascoët resigned his position, a lot of developers at Ubisoft feel like they can now make better games in the future, and they will now have freedom to express their creativity with the games they can work on. So it seems like Ubisoft is finally getting a revamp this year, and hopefully the developers will have better creative freedom to actually express what they really want to do with their game rather than just some higher up guy trying to pamper down all the creative ideas, and in the end they end up giving us games like Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is now safe to say that a lot of people in the community absolutely hated these games. And now with the absence of their ex-chief creative officer, Ubisoft will once again be able to produce some really good games in the coming future for the next-gen titles. So let me know, what do you guys think about this new change coming to Ubisoft, and also tell me on which was your last favorite Ubisoft game so far, and also what would you guys like to see in the upcoming Ubisoft games. Please leave your feedbacks and thoughts in the comments down below, and I will make sure to read your comments and also reply to as many of you guys as possible. Now, I cover all the upcoming open world games on my channel, bringing you guys content to look forward to every single day. So if you guys are interested in watching videos on all the open world RPG games that's coming up, then make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn that notifications on so that you guys don't miss out on my daily videos. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, then you can always support me by leaving a like rating, because that is the least you guys can do to support my content and the channel as well. So please don't forget to take a few seconds of your time and drop a like rating, because that would really mean a lot. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blast of a day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Till then, take care fams, and goodbye.